Hi guys, welcome back again. Just thought we'd reboot the connection because the connection went a bit funky. So we just wait for Bou Cou to come and join us again, and then I'll add her back to the stream. Hey Charlotte. Oh, she's back, yay! One moment, let me just get her up. Yay, you're back.
Hello. Let me switch the camera really
Say hi,
quick.
Karen.
Hi.
Hi.
We're back.
So where was we? I was asking about any of your personal tips and tricks regarding ribbons, elastics, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of people just use a single band of elastic on their shoes. I personally tend to like a crisscross of elastic. I just like how it supports the foot. And if somebody does have a bit of a tendency to sickle or twist, I do think it helps to keep the foot centered. So that's one thing that that we do. But we also, you know, after we've done the fitting, if we're the ones sewing the point shoes for you, we look at where your arch hits and make sure that
so
we are
crucial.
positioning the ribbon to pull, you know, kind of at the top, center to top of the arch, and pull that shoe into your foot. And
Absolutely.
Dancers, you know, the whole reason ribbons were added to point shoes in the beginning was not to hold the point shoes on, but to draw attention to the beauty of the foot when it's in its arched position. So we do very much personalize the position of the ribbons and elastics when we do our
It's so crucial. And if any dancers are watching that don't have much information regarding that, please take notice of your own foot. Don't go by what everybody else is doing, because not only that, if you do your ribbon and elastic too tight, for example, it can actually pull you back off point. So you won't be here, you'll be pulled backwards. So be careful of that. But also, like you mentioned, with regards to if someone's got a slight sickle or something like that, sometimes placing the ribbons or elastics in a different way can really help you pull your foot to where it's got to be. And feel free to experiment, guys. Like, you know, if you've got an old pair of point shoes and you're thinking about experimenting with the ribbons and elastics, practice on an old pair first before you get your new pair. And of course, always reach out to your fitters because they will be able to give you great assistance as well. So there's not always one way that fits all, because sometimes, you know what, as a fitter, I've sometimes met teachers that tell me, right, I want you to tell my students that they are going to sew their shoes in this way. And I'm like, hold on a minute. So I always try to explain to them that actually things have come a long way since like the 50s, for example, and and the fact that, you know, nowadays we have such amazing selection of different ribbons and elastics, but also we really need to work with the dancer and helping her be safe in her point shoes, right?
Yes, we have so many different types of ribbon that we keep in stock so that we have everybody's favorite.
Of course, it's important. So what would you say? Let me just look at my list, see if I've missed anything that would be interesting to speak about. What inspired you to actually start your store, by the way?
What inspired me to start my store? Well, I actually had a store where I was doing fashion trunk shows, selling couture clothing and accessories. And but there was a ballet studio moving in next to me in the complex, and I thought, because I had been a dance mom for a lot of years, I thought,
oh wow,
I need to have all of those emergency items that a dancer needs when she's going to dance after school. So we had tights, and we had hairnets and hairpins, and we had snacks.
Oh wow, love it.
The important things that you were heading to class.
Yes, yes.
And then I had the moms coming to me and saying, we need you to be a real dance store. We need you to have these other things. And so I thought, well, you know, that might not be a bad idea. So I started exploring that option. And next thing you know, I had more. And
Fantastic.
earlier, for those that maybe didn't tune in early on, that I didn't have any pointe shoes at all for my first year and a half, probably, as being a dancewear store. I spent a lot of time researching pointe shoes and learning about them before we ever started stocking pointe shoes. So, oops. When we were on my phone, it couldn't ring. And then it started misbehaving. So basically, we have expanded and expanded and expanded. We used to have a tiny little space here in the complex, and now we're bursting at the seams.
Oh, wow.
Our inventory, and of course our other stores as well.
Fantastic. So you mentioned you do costumes, right?
Yes.
Do you have any there to show us?
Let's see.
I do.
I have some rental ones over.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's walk this way.
How about those up there?
Yes. These happen to be two, the burgundy and the midnight blue are romantic tutus that I made, Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, wow.
And we keep the majority of our rental costumes we keep stored off site because we don't have room here in the store for it. But I make professional platter tutus. So that's probably my very favorite thing to make. I'm sorry I don't have those here to show you.
Oh, that's okay.
But anyway, this is part of our costume area. We try to have a lot of, you can come in and, you can come from the back. All right. And men's costumes as well. So here's some peasant shirt. Guys need to know that because sometimes there aren't as many of them and they kind of get lost.
There's a few over here.
Yeah, I agree.
Very
Our
small
men's section.
Oh, great.
Need. But we do try to have, costumes where if you need something at the last minute, you can come in and do that or be inspired. Of course, a lot of the costumes go out the door in there with somebody. A lot of those you can see on our website. We have cool. On our website, so you can see some of those. We're working hard.
What's your website address again, please, so we can tell the guys?
Boucou.net. BOUCOU.net.
Perfect.
Anyway, so let's walk back now. It's a little lighter out in the other part of our store.
Yeah, nice. So what year did you guys open? I can't remember if I went through that bit actually.
Yes, we started back in 2007. So we've been here in Montgomery for 13 years now. And
gosh.
In the store in Fort Walton for the last.
Fantastic. So, like with the summer intensive kind of season as well, do you ship like pointe shoes out to dancers that are going on intensives as well?
Yes, we sure do. Now, of course, most girls will come in ahead of time and get all of their required leotards and their fun, get their shoes and all of that. But you get there and there's always something you've forgotten or something that gets lost or something that gets added onto your must-have list. And we're happy to ship directly to you. So
fantastic.
Have mom call and give us the address, tell us what you need, pay for your purchase. Or get on the and do it if you want to. We'll take care of you.
And Peter's just wrote a really good comment there about it's been great to have guy stuff in stores. A lot of stores tell me that men and boys don't really come in, but they don't come in because they don't carry any men's stuff. Good point, to be honest. Even here in England, there are a lot of retailers that don't offer much stuff for guys at all. And there's even more than ever, there's so many more guys that dance now, right?
There are, and we actually have men's dancewear at all three of our stores, even our little
fantastic.
Our small satellite store we do as well. So
never neglect the boys. Good point.
Yes, you can have to check with.
Yay.
Do you have anything to add that you want to talk about? How should we tell our viewers that we might have missed that might be of interest to them? We've covered a lot.
Well, we're always here to help. You can call. Our store number is on the website. You can always call. You can talk to me or one of my great employees about whatever your question or your concerns are. Even if you're not necessarily in our area, if there's a way we can help you, we're happy to do that. We do ship all over the United States and actually various places around the world. So if you get on the site and see a fabulous, leotard that you need, you let us know.
Fantastic.
We'll a pair of shoes or whatever it is that you need. But we are here to help and do whatever we can. And even though our doors are not open for you to come and shop in person, as you can see, we have lots of fun things here in store, and we're working hard on making sure all of those are up on the website. So, and that we have more subcategories, making it easier to kind of zero in on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Since we can't have the public coming and shopping with us, my ladies have been working hard on getting everything added to our website.
Fab. Also, I was just wondering, let's go back to pointe shoes. Do you have any kind of personal tips that you might want to give some of the viewers regarding going for an actual fitting, or any common kind of problems that they might have? Okay.
So when you come for a fitting, make sure you're in comfortable clothes you can move in. It doesn't have to be tights. It can be tights. Leggings or something. Don't wear a pair of skinny jeans with no stretch.
Oh my God, I've had that. That's so bad.
I'm going to ask you to move. I'm going to make you plie.
Yes, right.
To make sure you can do that. Please make sure your toenails are clipped back.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God. I've had people, even though I've reminded them, they've turned up with really long toenails, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, we know right then the fitting isn't going to go well, because you are not going to be able to stand up on the tips of your toes. It's going to hurt, and you're going to be pulling back, and I won't know if it's because you can't push or just because your toe hurts. So that's really important. And I tell dancers too, keep an emery board in your dance bag. If you go whether it's your slippers or your pointe shoes you're putting on, look at your toenails before you put your shoes on, and maybe just do a quick little file back. It'll make you more comfortable, and you won't be bruising. I actually keep one of those little mini manicure kits in my dance bag because it's come in so handy. I can't tell you. Even if you've got a bit of a rough toenail and you're in your slippers and it rubs, oh my God, there's nothing worse.
Yes.
So very definitely. So that's a tip coming for the fitting. Always bring your old shoes with you. We talked about that earlier. Your old shoes. I really want to see them and see what's been going on with them. It helps me. It helps me a lot.
Absolutely.
And,
you should be refitted.
Yes. Good point. Excuse the pun.
Okay. So, as a very young dancer, your feet are growing, and we need to be analyzing you. Also, young dancers, if you're listening, if your feet grow and it's getting hard to put your shoes on, if you can't pull the heel of your shoe up anymore, you're going to start really bruising your toes when you try to dance. Let mom know that it's time for you to come for a new fitting. Don't dance.
Do you know what I've had is I've had some girls that are too scared to tell their parents because they don't want them to go and buy another pair of pointe shoes. And then they come to me, and I've had instances where they've grown so much they are literally forcing themselves into their shoes because they was too scared to tell their parents. Guys, your parents would prefer that you have healthy feet and you are not actually damaging yourself. So please speak up if you've noticed any changes. It's really crucial.
Well, and an old pair of pointe shoes, usually the fabric has kind of stretched and grown a little bit as the foot has grown. Whereas if we went and pulled that same size brand new shoe out, it wouldn't even come close to going on the foot. It's grown like that because sometimes they've grown multiple sizes.
It's like Peter's just mentioned about professional dancers must be refit at least once a year. Yep, I agree. And I also say that to dancers in training as well, because sometimes I get my dancers in training say to me, oh, can you just ship my shoes out to me? And it's been coming up to a year, and I'm like, hang on, I actually need to come and refit you because believe it or not, there's things that might have changed that you don't know about. So it's really crucial, guys, to make sure you're keeping up to date with your fittings.
Definitely, because you think about it, over time, I think feet become more compressed, and dancers who may have had more of a square shaped foot to start with over time start to wear a more tapered shoe as they get used to wearing them snugger and having that support. So that's one thing that's happening. But on the flip side, they also may be building their muscles and their strength.
Absolutely.
So their flexibility and their arches, their needs may be changing. And I also talked about earlier where depending on the type of choreography that you're doing, you may need more than one point shoe, to suit
absolutely
that you're doing. And those are all reasons to come. And
it's like Brooke just made a comment saying get a checkup just like the doctor. Yes, exactly. Totally agree with that.
Yes, indeed.
And someone else has mentioned, Kirsty's mentioned about if your Achilles hurts, it's a problem. Yes. In fact, one thing that I see, right, is sometimes I get dancers come to me with their old shoes and they have too much ribbon and they're wrapping it round and round and round. So guys, if you're watching and you're new to pointe, or, you're having problems with your Achilles, first of all, see a doctor first of all, but also sometimes it's actually your shoe that is the problem. It can be the shoe is now too tight for you. It could be the drawstring that is being pulled too tight as well. It can be the placement of your ribbons and elastics. It can be having too much ribbon. It can be doing your ribbon too tightly. So if you're suffering with any type of Achilles situation, please get it checked out. Don't suffer with it. It's really important.
And we can help you deal with those things. We definitely
absolutely.
And don't tie the knot of your ribbon on your Achilles tendon, please.
No, oh my God.
No, don't put the knot at you can't see this here. I got up here. Do not put the knot back.
No.
Tell girls, I have a bug bite on my ankle. It's special. Anyway, God put a little dent or hole right behind your ankle bone. It's a great place when you tie your ribbon for the knot and everything to settle right down in there, and you still have a very smooth line with your ribbon on your shoes.
It's like I do classes myself still, and do you know what's really bad is sometimes I go to some drop-in classes in London, and there's some pointe classes where they don't ask anything about you, just rock up. You could be someone who's literally just put yourself on pointe. Oh my God, I see some shocking sides. And one of the things I see often, and I wish teachers would just be honest and speak up about it because people didn't get hurt, is of course doing their ribbons on their Achilles, also doing them in a bow so they're all sloppy and hanging out. Oh my God. And also of course adults who have put themselves on pointe that shouldn't necessarily be on pointe yet, but they just let them carry on with it. And I would rather teachers be more honest with adults instead of adults potentially getting hurt.
Definitely. I don't think people realize, being on pointe is actually a very unnatural position for the body. And so it's important not only that we fit the shoe, but that we have correct technique and the proper lines of the body, because it affects everything: ankles, knees, hips, back, all the way up the body as you're doing this. And so it's why we don't want girls to go on pointe too young, because toddlers have that very much of a curved spine before, as they start to achieve their finished adult height, the spine straightens out. And so we don't want them on pointe too soon, because it stress on the backs. And I see a lot of knee injuries also for girls that are on pointe too soon, because they just and if they have flexible feet, then that makes it even worse, because it just strength and it just is putting too much stress on the whole body. But certainly that can be true of an adult going on pointe, as you say, when they put themselves up. They've always wanted to do this. You still need to be prepared. You still need to be in class with a qualified teacher teaching you technique and doing things right.
Yeah, I mean, even like if I've not been on pointe for 2 weeks myself, it really feels like I'm going back to the beginnings. And of course, being older, your body isn't the same as when you was younger. But also I say to people, it's not just about, feet and ankles. We need everything working together as a whole. And Pilates, for example, is also really amazing because it works the whole body and your core. So guys, like if you're viewing and you've not got pointe shoes yet, but you're really desperate, please listen to your teacher and make sure that you are not rushing it. be very careful, be safe, make sure you get a proper fitting. Don't, you know, I mean, I've seen it all. I've even had instances where dancers literally buy pointe shoes off the internet without having a fitting.
Or eBay.
Oh my gosh, no.
Please don't do that. Please go to
No.
please go to your local retailer and
Exactly right. There's a science behind pointe shoe fitting, you guys, and this is why we are pointe shoe fitters and we do what we do to help you. Please don't just assume that you can go and buy your normal street shoe size in a pointe shoe online. There's so much involved, it's unbelievable. Do you ever get parents that you know, they're really amazed at what goes into fitting a pointe shoe, for example? Because I sure get people that are like, wow, I didn't realize there was so much involved.
They're always amazed, especially for a first fitting, when I say, well, you should allow 45 minutes to an hour, you know, and it doesn't always take that amount of time, but I really like to do some teaching, you know, especially
Yes, of course.
Their first daughter going on pointe and they don't know anything about it yet. I like them to, you know, to understand. And I've even had, in fact, Karen, who's filming for us today, her mom, back in the beginning when Karen was early on pointe, not really understanding what was going on, not having danced herself, we fit her in pointe shoes one day, not that she was going to buy them and take them away, but so that she could understand.
That's amazing.
My pointe shoe fitting training started a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Karen was one of my best customers before she became one of my best employees.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Oh. So, how long have you guys been fitting shoes for now?
So we've been selling dancewear for 13 years, fitting pointe shoes for about 10 and a half years.
Oh, wow. Fabulous.
About 4 years for me, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yes. She's an expert wearer of pointe shoes before.
I've been through lots of brands, yes.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And
Peter's just said
things as a business owner, you know, and with a new employee, even if they're a dancer, is to help them learn how to fit pointe shoes, because they are familiar maybe with their own feet and what shoes they have worn. And
oh, yes, good point.
It's a particular shoe or a brand because it didn't work for them, but everybody's feet are different, and that's why we love our Nikolay shoes, but we have lots of different brands because there are a lot of different feet in the world.
Of course.
Not everybody have the best experience on pointe.
So Peter's just said, don't you love when a parent comes in and says that their girl only had these shoes for 1 year? Why do they need new ones? Oh my God, yes, I've been there.
Well, and we tell parents, if the girls are new on pointe, they're probably going to outgrow the shoes before they truly, you know, break them in and break them down and they're dead. Okay.
Absolutely.
But you know, I occasionally will have somebody from a small studio, and maybe they do one pointe class a week, but you know, it's like we will have retired their pointe shoe card because we hadn't seen them for maybe 2.5 years, and here they come and they're ready for another pair of shoes.
I know, I've had that too, actually. It's quite interesting.
2 years.
Amazing. So also, do you offer like video? So obviously, do you do virtual fittings? I can't remember if I asked. And if you do you do it over Skype? Do you offer like or FaceTime kind of shopping as well?
Yes, we sure do.
I've got Skype and FaceTime, and I can even do the Google Hangouts one.
Yeah.
I'm happy to
cool.
We can do any of those, whatever apps.
Or the Instagram one. That's
yeah,
fine.
of course. Oh, fantastic.
We can do any of those, and you just need to have somebody filming you, you know, being just like you would be coming for a fitting here.
Yeah.
Clothing, have your shoes, have everything there. We want to see you go up in the shoes. We want to see you putting them on. I like to see how they go on.
Yes, that's crucial.
I want to see you go up in them, and I want to see you. I'm going to have you, you know, do some of the dance positions, do some things in them. If there's room, I might even have you do a turn or do something else so I can see what's going on with them. And we can go from there in terms of what do we need to do to help you be a better dancer, or maybe it's like, okay, I'm doing okay with these shoes, but I don't like how they look on me, or the teacher doesn't like my lines when I'm in a nervous, or I don't, it's okay. Well, let's see you do that. Okay?
Yeah.
See what that shoe looks like as an extension of you, and see if there's something else we can do to make you ballet.
So the dance shop Las Vegas has just asked, how many do you typically ship out for a virtual fitting?
How much do we?
Like
how many pairs?
Yeah, how many pairs do you ship out for a fitting?
Well,
I think they
hopefully
mean.
we get the right one, right?
We have been doing virtual fittings for the dancers that we have fit in the past. So what we're doing, so we're working with feet that we already know, and we know the history of the
Same as me, actually. I find it very hard to take on board new people that I haven't, met before. So I'm advising them personally, because I like to be in person with somebody, that I would like it if they've been fit by me before, I'm happy to do a video call with them. But if they've not been fit by me before, I'd rather they just wait it out, because there's details that you can't get through a video call, in my opinion.
Right. I had, and this has been maybe a couple of years ago now, I had a dancer in Mississippi, so not a state where I have a dancewear store, and there was no dancewear store close to her, and she had a pair of shoes and needed a change, and so her mom recorded her in her current shoes, and we talked about sizing and those kinds of things, and I sent some shoes to her, but I sent them with the caveat. I said, when you get them, you must put them on, and you must again film and let me see. I said, I'm very uncomfortable sending you a pair of shoes that I've not been here with you, able to put my hands on your feet and your shoes.
Yeah.
All right. We did that, and we managed to very successfully, and there happened to be some Grishko shoes.
Oh, wow.
And it worked out really well, and I was so happy and so relieved, because she had something coming up. But it was to be a multi-hour drive for them to get to me, and it was very difficult, and so we did that. But I would be concerned also about sending multiple pairs of shoes out of the store for someone to be trying on, and it's not in our environment. We're really careful. We don't let dancers roll up in our shoes and start breaking them in.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Of things, and if the shoes are out of the store, they're out of our control.
Right.
And if I'm going to basically bring the shoes back to my store's inventory, they need to be brand new and fresh, like
absolutely,
to get when they come in. So I don't know about doing a virtual. I'm happy to try to help and adjust for somebody who's already been on point, even if they haven't been here. But I don't know that I could send out 6 pairs of shoes for you to try, and then you send them back.
I agree. I'm of the same mindset. Somebody's asked, my ballet teacher has asked me to go on point to strengthen my ankles as a male dancer like myself. What do you have to say about that? Well, I'm totally down with that. I fit guys. Do you fit guys?
Yes,
I have.
Lots of guys. We've all
Fantastic.
I
love
fit
it.
too.
Yes, we sure do. And sometimes that's a little more challenging because of the size of their feet. They tend to be a little bigger than the scouts. But I'm really happy to do that and go through the same kinds of, training that we give,
It's more common nowadays. So if any guys are watching that are a little bit nervous about it, don't worry. It's much more common nowadays. So I am certain that you will find retailers near you that can assist you with that. Sometimes, however, it does need to be a custom order, just so you know. So sometimes you might have a little bit of a wait for your actual point shoes that made for your feet to arrive. And sometimes with guys, what I found is sometimes guys can have stiffer ankles. So in my opinion, like with girls as well, not everybody is made for point work. In rare occasions, there are people that no matter what you do, you can see there's something going on with them, and they just don't have all the attributes for point. It can happen.
Yeah, that's true. But I will say we've successfully fit all the gentlemen that have come to us, and we're
fantastic. Oh, I love it.
If you need some shoes, just get some, because we fit a lot of professionals and men in, you know, pre-professional training programs, things like that.
Fabulous. So anyone who's watching, let's take this moment to see if anyone's got any more questions. Feel free to pop them up and we'll have a little Q&A with the viewers. Scroll through and see if I've missed anything. And by the way, guys, like before, I will save the footage later on and upload it so anyone who's missed it can view it as well. Let's see, we've got a few more people joining. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. So, oh, here's another one. What types of custom options are there? So it depends on the brands, but well, seeing as this is, of course, a Nikolay feed, I'm going to tell you about Nikolay pointe shoes. So have you done many customs yourself as well?
Yes, we have.
So let's talk about the kind of things that you guys often find you have to tweak on a pointe shoe in a custom.
Shank strength.
Shank strength or shank length. And sometimes the fit of the heel or cutting down a little bit on the sides. I will say the new, you know, the changes that have been made now for the 3007 will probably take care of some of the things we were doing or needing to do for some dancers in 2007, just because it's just a really, you know, it is already, it'll cut down a little sleeker heel, a little bit better fitting heel.
Absolutely.
Yes. So those are the kinds of things that we've done, or going with, you know, sometimes we can do it with a fitting aid. Sometimes we don't have to custom make the shoe, but we can put in a higher wing to give a little support, a little higher up. They've got a bunion bone that protrudes and we want a little smoothing look to the shoe, we can do something.
Absolutely. So to also answer you about Nikolay custom options, here's one of my personal shoes. So you can get different colors instead of dyeing your shoes. So as you can see, this is a bubblegum pink one. With a custom, you can wait, you know, generally up to 6 weeks. It can be quicker, but generally speaking, from my experience, it's up to 6 weeks. You can change, I'll go through all the different things you can change in a Nikolay shoe. You can change the length, the width. You can change the broadness of the platform, but not too drastic, because otherwise that changes the last. You can change the vamp height, which is this part here, the vamp cut, V shape or U shape. You can have a drawstring or no drawstring. You can have a cotton drawstring or elastic drawstring. You can change the side quarters here. You can change the wing height. You can change the box paste. You can change the heel height. You can change the way that the inner sole is and the outer sole. This is vegan, by the way, so you get vegan option too. You can also change how the actual shank is cut. And of course, if you are unsure about shanks, always speak to a fitter. You can also change, have I gone through everything? I think I might have gone through. Oh yeah, hang on, the scoreness. So on the sole, you see how we've got this crisscrossy here. You can change that. There's a few options available for better grip and traction. You can also have the suede cap or cork cap already glued onto the platform for you or sewn on, so that you don't have to do it yourself if that's an option that you like. You can also change the paste, so you can have standard paste, flexible, semi-flexible. You can have Tropicana paste as well. Personally, another thing that I've done is I've actually put in the miracle lining in my special order, because I was curious how it would feel. A lot of people don't know about that. You can also change the type of satin. So this is double upper, so it's more smooth, which is the satin that they use on some models such as 3007. Yeah.
Your own, have it your way.
It's amazing what you can do, so much variety. Absolutely mind-blowing. And what I really enjoy is you know, in my own shoes I switch around and see, you know, different tweaks, how they feel. Someone's asked about different skin tones. So actually with Nikolay, they are working on that. at the Atlantic Dance Retail Show, we got to see a few swatches. I'm not sure if they're available just yet, but they are definitely working on that. I will check with you, or if Peter's watching, which he is, he might be able to tell us. But yes, that's amazing. Also, you can have a canvas. I forgot to tell you, in some models, you can order canvas as special order, but also in Karcher, Karcher comes as canvas or satin. So for those of you curious about why people would want to go for a canvas shoe, when dancers in training or professionals, often for a lot of ballets, they want to have the pointe shoe match their skin tone to extend the line. So they will pancake them or color mine them or use foundation or any other methods to make it be part of their skin tone to give that line, you know. And some people, with the canvas, it makes it easier to put the foundation or pancake makeup on them. So that's actually a common question I get asked. But yeah, you can also order funky colors, and let me just grab a few of the funkier ones as well. Hang on a moment.
That's perfect for Nutcracker, isn't it?
Well,
Let's see.
we sell a lot of our stage makeup, which is a pot cream makeup, and to actually pancake the shoes and match the skin tone. And we've got so many different skin tones.
I use the Kryolan one, which is really nice. So if you guys didn't want to order your shoes, you know, like we've just mentioned, there is makeup available and a lot of dance stores sell it, which is fantastic, because then you don't have to worry about going elsewhere to get it, and you know that it works, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. It actually works very well. And sometimes you want to take maybe one of your already broken in or older pairs of shoes because you just want more performance, and then you need your new fresh pink ones when you start back to class again.
You should see the purple pair she's holding.
Yeah, here's some purple ones, as you can see.
I'm about to switch it so you can see.
Switch it around. Oh, those are fun.
And we have some red.
Oh, red, nice.
That's good.
And it's some yellow as well.
Wow.
Now those colors don't really extend the lines.
No, of course. More like the costumes, you guys. I get requests if people are doing a certain role and it matches what they're going to be doing. So with Nikolay brand, actually the custom orders only take 2 to 3 weeks. I didn't know this. Peter's just informed me. So wow, you guys, that's really great. And all special orders and all back orders are made within 14 days. Wow. And are shipped on day 15. So, oh my God, you guys have got it better than I have right now. So wow, you're really lucky.
That is so good. That is so good.
But that must be a lot better than what you was used to before Nikolay, right? You must.
Yes. No, it was taking a while. And honestly, most of our other vendors take quite a while. So that's a great turn.
Fantastic.
We don't always get our orders for shoes when performances are coming quickly and we need them back.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking about custom orders again, would you say it's like a regular thing that you guys have to do, or not so regular?
I would say not so regular. And usually it's going to be a dancer who's been on pointe for several years. And
yes, crucial.
We need, the foot has stopped growing, and we just need, the standard shoe just needs a little bit of tweaking to it. And usually we don't have to do lots of things. Usually it's just 1 or 2 things. Maybe the vamp a little lower, or the sides are cut down, or something like that. It's just a little bit to it so that we get a smoother look, to that shoe. Or in the case of the lower vamp, somebody that has very short toes and just needs that help in terms of pushing over.
Talking about shorter vamps, I'm one of those short toe people. So all I have to do is, I often get dancers obsessed with vamp length, and they say to me, oh, but I've got really short toes, I need a really short vamp. Well, I've kind of, I've been that end where I've actually gone too far with my vamp, so short that I end up knuckling my shoe. So guys, there is such thing as a shoe with too short a vamp. So I cannot stress that if you're curious about your vamp length, work with your fitter to get measured correctly to ensure that you're not going too far with it, because Another thing that I've found is sometimes, you know, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to try this vamp length. And at the time I get my shoes, I'm like, yeah, this works. Then they start to break down and I have no support left. So the vamp is here for those of you who don't wear point shoes yet. I've just had 0.5 centimetre taken off. That's all I needed. And now they're perfect. But there is such thing as going too short and too long. They're both opposite ends of the spectrum. So you always want to ensure that, you know, work with your fitter. They will know exactly what you need. Don't obsess too much as well about, because sometimes they say to me, oh, I need a shorter vamp to get over. No, that's not always the case, you guys. It can be to do with so many other things. So please don't think it's all to do with the vamp, because you know, on the internet, there's a lot of misinformation. There's good information, but there's also information where people, especially on these Facebook groups, like there's many ballet groups out there, and I have to refrain from spending too much time answering all the questions on them, because there's people that aren't point shoe fitters that think they know it all, and they tell someone to go and do something and they're like, they're just gullible and they go and do it, and then they post pictures and I'm just like, oh my God.
And you know, that's what helps it, you know, if you're in front of us and we're fitting you and we can see you point your foot obviously outside of the point shoe, we can see what happens to your toes when you point. We're going to have a better idea of what kind of a shoe to put on you, or whether you really need that shorter vamp, or
absolutely,
you know, sometimes it's just the shape of the shoe that's not allowing you to get over, because when you're fully pointed, either your toes kind of stay in a row and then, you know, your foot curls and you arch forward, or you do this thing.
Oh no, she's gone. Sorry guys, let's wait for her to come back. Hang on. I think her connection might have dropped. I'll just wait a second, otherwise I'll refresh the feed again. Sorry about that. I'll wait a few minutes, and if oh, here we go. Hang on. She's back. It says it's just connecting. One moment. Oh, yay!
I do apologize.
That's all right.
Having technology issues, sorry.
So you were mentioning about the shorter vamp, and you was mentioning about when you know it's important to see the dancer there.
Yes, we need to see what the toes and the foot does when it points. That's something that we really need to see in person, or at least see via FaceTime or something, so we can see what your foot is.
Absolutely.
Doing. Okay, because you're right. It's not just a matter of cutting the vamp down. If that was it, then all the shoes would be made with a very short vamp.
Exactly right.
And all be all to fix the problem.
So I'm going to give opportunity to ask a few more questions, guys, and we're going to wrap this up. For those of you who've just joined and have missed a lot of this, don't worry, because I will save it and re-upload it so everyone can watch it back, which would be wonderful. And also, if you have anything more to add, feel free to add it to the stream. So if you've got anything else you'd like to say, you guys?
We broke up a bit.
Oh, sorry.
I think we got your last sentence or two.
So yeah.
Sorry. So I was just seeing if anyone's got any more questions before we wrap up, but also do you guys have anything that you might like to add before we go as well?
You know, we really miss our customers since we've had
I
to
bet.
be closed for COVID-19, and we're really looking forward to working with everybody. We're happy to do anything that we can right now. You need to stay in shape while you're not able to go to your
right.
maybe doing some remote or via video classes. So if there's something we can do to help that, you know, we have stretch bands, we have turning discs, we have, you know, all kinds of, we have, you know, hand and ankle weights and all kinds of things that you can use to really work and extra stay in shape during this time. Sometimes you just need a new outfit to feel good and fresh.
Yes, I've been selling a lot of dancewear stuff recently because people are at home and they, even like my fellow adult ballet dancers, we like to dress up for class at home because it's nice to feel fancy, right?
Right. Don't put your sweats on to do your ballet class. We need to see the lines, and you need to feel like a ballerina when you're doing this. And so if we can help you find a new fun outfit, or if you don't want to do it in a leotard, at least a nice snuggy little warm up or something to make you
feel like Charlotte has just mentioned about the Nikolay warm-ups that are great for home training. Do you want to just show us that heat retention wear that you've got there again?
Oh yes, love this one.
One of my faves as well. I've got this one myself. It's so cozy. And what I really love about it is
and the long version.
Nice. I love the fact that it's so lightweight. It keeps you super warm, and the fact
it's not crinked. It's not like it's a really soft tan.
I've sold so much of this heat retention where it's done really well.
Has a really classy, fun logo on the side.
I love it.
Pull up the waist or the top.
The waist. So it doesn't slip. It's customizable. You've got a little stretchy drawstring cord in both cases, so you can snug that up. You don't have to have this up over the top. So once you're at the bar, if you wanted to drop your shoulders down, you can do that and have it snugged in at the waist. Anyway, super cute on.
And that's why we only have 3 left.
Yeah, we don't have very many.
Yeah, right. They sell so well.
We're happy to get some more in for you. So let us know. Get other colors as well.
You can also get the long pants and the short pants as well for that, you guys. Just want to let you know. And there's a few other colors.
We've got a great.
So they can get you in stock all the other possibilities. And of course, they come in many different sizes. So I've managed to fit loads of different dancers in them. I also like the fact that they compact well. So for example, I recently came to LA and obviously luggage restrictions, and because it's lightweight, I could take quite a bit of dancewear with me, and it folds nicely, but it doesn't like get any annoying like wrinkles in it, which is just fab.
When it's shipped into us, it comes out of the boxes just beautifully and ready to hang and looks really good. So
fab. So someone just asked a question, were you guys professional ballet dancers before?
I have danced, but not, I ended my career early. Karen, who's holding the phone, is starting her professional career right now.
Oh, wow.
So we have a combination, our employees in the store, we have a combination of people who have danced or whose kids have danced. Both my kids dance.
Oh, cool. Love it. Okay, well, we're going to leave it there. Let's just give you a final bit of information about Bou Cou. So just before we leave, just reminds people about your locations, website, Instagram. And by the way, guys, don't forget about mail order and the fact you can pick up curbside as well during these times.
Yes. Okay, so our website is boucou.net, B-O-U-C-O-U, short for boutique couture, boucou.net. We're on Facebook, Bou Cou _ that's Instagram, Bou Cou _ Dancewear on Instagram. And then on Facebook, it's Bou Cou and then our location. So Bou Cou Montgomery, Bou Cou Fort Walton, Bou Cou Andalusia. So we're located in both Alabama and Florida. And we travel around the area doing fittings. So that's no problem. And anybody can call in. We're glad to help you. If you have a question, if you've been watching today and you're neither in England nor you're in one of the 2 states I'm in, but you have a specific question that you would like to ask, don't hesitate to get in contact. You can message us on Facebook, or if you want to call the store number. Because
do a virtual fitting from anywhere.
That's right. We can do a virtual fitting, or we're just happy to help you. We know you have time and we have time right now.
Right.
But if you do shop on our website, we ship for free, totally for free. We used to ship $75 or more. Because of all that's going on, we now ship anything that you would like anywhere in the US for free. And if you would like to order and come pick up at our store, we can take it out to you curbside, and that's not a problem. Or even if you're here in town and don't want to get out and want us to ship to you, we're happy to do that. So
amazing. Oh, well, it's been really fabulous speaking to you both. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And you guys that have just tuned in, I will be saving it and I'll be re-uploading it so everybody can watch again. I'll get that done within the next 2 days, and I'll be sure to mention it on social media so you know where to find it. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is there right now.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.